Yeah, give me a second. I was running a little late, so I had to hook it up for y'all real quick.
What up, y'all? You know who it is, your boy JD Kiss, you know what I mean? Right now with Chris John. Shout out to Camden, New Jersey, all my niggas out there. Let's get right into it. Yeah!
PDiddy.
Chris John, man.
Go ball, let's get him, man.
Yeah. Right, never off plan.
Open panel, y'all, open panel.
With them guns in my hand, 4 or 5 or a black 9 with a grand in my pocket and be cool as a fan. BTBTV, we are not playing. Y'all just talk, we back it up and down. Sideways, F what y'all saying. We Kyrie and Kanye. This a boss talk, so you clowns should just fly away. Yeah. Hop on the bridge, throw your frame off the highway. This not a game, this is business, this my way. Real talk, your opinion is nothing to us. We gon' stay on chill, long as y'all don't violate. But it's not fair. We could be cool or your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear. And you could be my friend or enemy, I don't care. And you better beware. Cause we coming for the whole pie and we don't share. No, it just ain't fair. But we the best, I swear. We the best, I stay up in the mix. A project politics, my mood kinda sick. Name well known from the hood to the sticks. 100 on the highway, flying so fast, burn the gears when I shift. Some people kick dirt on your name, what shoes you gave them. Broke your back for them and they got the nerve to play you. Kick rap's door all pushed and shoved my way through. Bum rush the kitchen, put my floor up on the menu. The jealousy be hitting up in jokes. That's why I stay serious like David Banner turned in the Hulk in pure form like the Pope. Haters get infrared beams with the scope, so run and get ghosts. We fight good, boxed in like Floyd on the ropes. I'm the great black hope. Man, we the team, and they know it coast to coast, and it just ain't fair.
Oh man, you might got a point, bro.
We could be cool or your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear. And you can be my friend or enemy, I don't care. And you better beware. Cause we coming for the whole pie and we don't share. No, it just ain't fair. We the best. If you with us, put your lighters in the air. No, it just ain't fair. BTBTV. Just ain't fair, man.
Yeah.
Yo, peace to the 5% nation, the guys and nerves. Salam alaikum, hamdulillah, rahmatullah, to all the true Muslim brothers and sisters out there. This is King, New Jersey. This is BTBTV, where we bully the bullies. I'm the honorable host, born divine almighty Allah. Hey, yo, we're gonna have a great show for y'all today, man. I told you I'm back, man. I'm back in motion. Gotta make things pop, gotta make things happen. And yo, and for my Bloods and the Crips out there, was buzzing, it was popping, cousins. Let's get it. We ain't no Bloods or no Crips. We doing our own thing. BTBTV that started his own game. Like, nigga, what? You here, man? Yeah, so did a quick show yesterday. I did a show yesterday. It wasn't even a quick show. Did a long show. But I didn't touch on some topics I think I need to touch on. The Irv Gotti give himself a stroke by swallowing too many ecstasy pills, and that's how he really died. We know Irv Gotti and JaRule with some big ecstasy heads. They love that X. Allegedly, they ain't alleged. They love the X. The ecstasy got them all emotional and mushy. Yo, salute to my boy Cross Plug the podcast. Yo, you know what I'm saying? It's my little bro, man. Y'all go check out his channel, man. It's back up and running, doing numbers. Make sure y'all get up there, show love to him. Cross, I'm about to see you link now, bro. I ain't know you was home yet. Yeah, man. Check out his podcast, man. He be having some funny ass skits up there too, yo. From Short Street, be the bomb, be hilarious. But yeah, I ain't talk about Irv Gotti and his drug use. Irv Gotti stealing from Charlie Baltimore. 8,000 I think she say 8,000 a week. Ecstasy habit. Damn, nigga, how many ecstasy pills you need? 8,000 a week? That's nutty. Yeah, that's nutty. 8,000 a week. Yo, y'all think I'm bored? Y'all think I'm BSing? Let me let you hear what Charlie Baltimore had to say, y'all. Bear with me. Vlad, this is fair use, but I'm definitely not gonna show your face.
Well, by October of 2003, you officially leave Murder Inc. You had some comments about it. You said, I felt like when I met Irv, he was one way. And then as I was leaving, because I left Murder Inc., I wasn't kicked off. I wasn't dropped. I left. It was getting a little crazy, a little gangster, actually. We didn't get into this. We don't go into the ifs, ands, and buts, but what I did and how I did what I did, but it was a little gangster.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm not going to go into the specifics of that. But again, I'm from Philly. At the time I was married, and the guy I was married to was also from Philly. And let's just say him and Irv were not, they come from two totally different, they're cut from two different cloths. So yeah, it could have gotten way worse than it actually did if I hadn't left, put it like that.
This is for
Well,
Black.
I found this one quote where you had claimed that some of the budget that was supposed to go towards your album was spent up by Irv, and you had mentioned something about an $8,000 a week ecstasy habit.
Well, I think that's kind of like self-admitted on Irv's part. I don't know if it was actually coming out of my budget, but I think Irv pretty much self-admitted, and I don't remember that quote, so I don't know the exact like amount of drugs that Irv was taking or whatever. But you know, there was speculation that some of that stuff was coming out of artists' budgets, and you have to remember when I met Irv, he didn't even drink. He didn't drink. He didn't do drugs. He didn't do anything. So to watch somebody that's like totally sober at all times, like turn into like this, I don't know, like you don't know which Irv you're going to get on any given day. That's a lot on a person that is entrusting you with their career and trust you as far as making these records. Because I trusted Irv implicitly with decisions as far as my music, because he is that he's that dope. But when drugs become involved to the extent that, he was dealing with them, then you might get, this creative genius Irv, or you might get crazy Irv. And it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling.
With USPS Ground Advantage, it's like you're with us every step of the way.
Well, so what you think about that, Avery? Cross, boss.
Man, yeah, I heard a lot of it, like you said, like the whole thing. So I guess the thing was that's what got him strung out, because like she said, he wasn't even drinking or doing nothing. I wonder what got him to the point where he got to popping all them you said they said $8,000 a
week.
Yeah, that's crazy work, bro.
Well, you know what I think it was, bro? I think it was he was trying to get at Ashanti, and his old man penis won't hold up too much. So he thought the ecstasy pills to have him stronger down there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but right. But like you just said, they sat there and they said, 8,000 a week, that's to the point where you damn near a junkie. You know what I'm saying?
No, you are a junkie, bro.
Yeah.
8,000 a week, you trying to kill yourself, nigga.
Yeah.
I think reality.
And probably towards the end, like I said, think about it, he probably stayed high all the time to avoid real life shit, I guess. I don't know. It had been like some real life shit he must have been trying to avoid.
You know what? I know. I think he was trying to avoid.
What's that?
See all that success 50 was having while he was sitting in the back and can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think he was just hating that.
But did you see that? Did you see that report that JaRule sent out? That police report where police report. Yeah, and they said that 50 Cent talked Tony Yayo or something about not telling us something. Tony Yayo was gonna tell.
No, that was Baker Smurf said Tony Yayo was gonna tell, but 50 never said that. No, Baker Smurf said Tony Yayo was gonna sue. But 50 never said nothing about that. So Baker Smurf, he tell a lot of truths, but you can tell he jealous of Tony Yayo too, you know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you what the police officer said. Did you see what the police officer said, the detective?
No, I didn't.
Hold on, let me find that for you. Let me find that detective thing for you. NYC detective. 50 Cent snitching. Why don't you look at this shit? This detective that he wanted to bring Supreme down. Hold on, where's that? Here we go. Where's it at? I just seen it. Here we go. I'm at to hide as soon as I find it because the only one I found is the hold on. I'm gonna show you something else soon. What is this? Here we go, right here.
Business lockdown. I knew everybody.
Here we go.
Where you got shot 9 times.
50 Cent never cooperated with anybody, and I would know if he did. I had the whole music industry investigation business locked down. I knew everybody who was talking to everybody. There was no way he cooperated. We took a shot at him. He didn't cooperate. Through his attorney, Bob Colina, I tried to get him to, just say, if he could just say he was shot in his car and, whatever, he would not cooperate with us at all. And I think the reason why is one, he was playing the rules of the street. 2, he wouldn't have a career if he got caught cooperating. Guys have said he cooperated on an incident where he was stabbed or somebody was stabbed, maybe it was Yayo in the studio. He didn't cooperate on that, and these guys were going to sue or one guy sued and won some money who worked in the studio. They never cooperated. And I find it funny that the guys who say he cooperated, namely the Gotti brothers, they did more stupid things to bring heat on them and heat on everybody else, using two-way pages to communicate with people when the information is so easy to, to get a hold of afterwards. They did a lot of dumb things. And they messed with the wrong guy. He came back. He's a fighter. And people got to, respect that. Even if they don't like 50, right. He didn't have any cops protecting him. He went into hiding. He was looking over his shoulder like every day. And then when he made it big, he still has guys coming at him, shooting at him. He never came to the police when World and those guys shot it out with him out in New Jersey. There's a ton of different things. Like I could tell you why he never cooperated. And if he was in with the police or whoever, I would know about it. And I'm telling you, that's like a definite no.
Right, because
hold up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Take
You heard that, right?
fast and
yeah,
create
I heard
a
that.
website that's worthy of it.
Hold on.
With AI website creation from Wix,
Hold on. I'm gonna let you listen to enough too. This is enough he had to say. Hold on. What is that? What is that? Here we go, right here. I gotta hurry up.
So 50's in front of his grandmother's house, and Supreme is around, as well as two other guys.
Yeah, they staked the place out.
Yeah. Son and
God
be. So Son comes up to the car and opens fire.
Right.
Now, as it's happening, they say that 50 thought it was Hamo.
Right.
Hamo was Mike Tyson's guy.
Yeah, Darryl Baum. Yeah.
Yeah. It was Tyson's bodyguard at one point, right?
Yeah. Well,
bodyguard, friend, whatever.
Yeah. Street, real tough guy, but not a killer, not a shooter.
Okay. Why do you think 50 Cent thought it was Hamo?
I think he said to the guy next to him, that looked like Hamo. That looked like Hamo. Was that Hamo or something like that? I think that's how that got out.
Who was the guy that was in the car at 50?
I forget his name. I went to go speak with him in prison, upstate New York, and he wasn't no part of it, So yeah, I've been actually looking through my old reports and I couldn't find it. But he was scared, like he didn't want anything to do with it. And, so we never got anywhere that way. And in the beginning of the investigation, I thought it was, Hamo, 50 said it was him and everything else. And then, when, we started to get cooperators in the case, we found out differently.
Well, yeah, like in 50's Many Men, he said, in the Bible, it says what goes around comes around. Hamo shot me. 3 weeks later, he got shot down. Now it's clear that I'm here for a real reason. Because he got hit like I got hit, but he ain't fucking breathed. So in one of 50's big songs, he names Hamo as the shooter and talks about how 3 weeks later, Hamo gets killed.
Right.
So 3 weeks later, Hamo does get killed.
Yeah, he gets killed by Damian Hardy and his crew.
World,
yeah.
Okay. Why did Hamo get killed?
When Damian Hardy was in prison, his brother Myron got killed by a kid named Peanut. Peanut was a part of a crew of guys that were associated with Darryl Baum. So you had like Peanut, J.R. Hamilton. Who else was in that crew? I think they were associated with Scooter and those guys even at one point. But they all kind of did stuff together and were tight. And so Damian Hardy was a psychopath. When he came out, he wanted everyone gone. And anyone he thought was responsible for his brother's death or associated with them, he was taking him out. So he was also, let's see, what was his name? Darryl Baum's brother, T-Rock. I think his first name was Tyrone. He was extorting from guys who were doing at construction sites. He'd come and say, if you don't hire my guys or if you don't kick back, we're going to disrupt your business. And he was killed also in that whole little war that lasted a very short amount of time. But had nothing to do with 50. The retaliation was a whole different set of, ghetto drama and craziness. And guys like World were kind of similar to Prince. Senseless violence, no reason. You could settle it different ways. You have a strong crew. People are afraid of you. They're gonna step back and let you do what you got to do. But I could see avenging your brother's death, but all the other stuff was just, ridiculous. So.
Okay, so 50 gets shot 9 times by Son. He survives.
Yes.
He goes, he goes to hang out with Sha Money XL, who's has a place way out, and they start working on music as he's healing up. But Robert Lyons, aka Son, who's the shooter, you said became JaRule's bodyguard.
Yes.
Did JaRule and them already know him, or was it because of the shooting that they kind of brought him in?
Yeah. So the weird thing about Rob Lyons is when I first got his name, he didn't have an arrest record. He had a record with the FBI, but nothing that would come back on a rap sheet. I don't know if he got his case, dismissed somehow or another. And at any rate, he was a mystery to us. And the only thing I could find was his driver's license. And he didn't look anything like homicide. So I didn't know what to make of it initially. But he was driving around in a Hummer. He lived in the pink houses in Brooklyn. Later on, he was driving around in a Mercedes-Benz. I took the tag off the Benz, and it comes back to Jeffrey Atkins, JaRule. And then any kind of surveillance that we conducted, he's right behind JaRule. He's his de facto bodyguard, no doubt. But he seems to be a guy who's got Brooklyn ties. He had ties to Scooter. He had ties to World. And he seemed to have been hustling, but nobody really knew him. It was like one of those guys who laid really low and didn't have a real street.
Yo, hey, Reed.
Yo.
Now, what you think about that, man?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I don't understand why would he even put that in the song if he ain't had nothing to do with it. Sounded like he was kind of clout chasing.
No. At first, he thought he had something to do with it. Remember,
no, I'm talking about the dude that ended up getting unalive 3 weeks later. Why would 50 put that in the song?
No, 50 thought it was him. Remember, 50, the dude was already dead. 50 didn't say nothing about it. But 50 found out that whoever else did it, the song was already out. 50 thought it was a nigga that did it.
Oh, I thought he said 3 weeks later, that nigga ain't breathing.
Yeah, he said 3 weeks later, that nigga he got hit like I got hit, but he ain't fucking breathing. Remember, 50 didn't do that album until 2003. He got shot at in 2000.
Right.
So he didn't know. But I'm gonna tell you who did know. Watch this. I'm about to pull something up for you. You gonna enjoy this right here, bro. You gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna pull something else for you real quick. Hold on. Shooter. Hold on. Now this is what Gene had to say about it. Because here. What was it? Right here. Hold up. Let me see. StreamYard. Hold up. I'm right here, bro. I was just trying to find it for you. I found it. I found it. Hold up.
Just get Saspaya.
Saspaya. No!
When 50 got shot, how did you find out?
The day 50 Cent was shot, I was walking through, and BMF was there too. Meechnam was there too. We was walking through the Fiesta Maracana Cadesa in Cancun, Mexico. I had just introduced Meech to Chaz. I started walking through the hotel, and they had the pool right there. Looked like rocks, flowers, and everything around. Just a little sharp. And his manager seen me. And he said, "Yo, Gene." I said, "What's up?" Now his manager's in the pool with two girls. I said, yo, what's up? He said, yo, I need to speak to Chaz and I need to speak to Supreme. I said, what you ask me for? What you telling me that shit for? He said, yo, man, because 50 just got shot, you know, and he in ICU. I said, 50 what? He just got what? See, I had spoke to 50.
Right,
50 was
Rizzo,
supposed to be
hit the link, bro. Hit the link.
because he was supposed to be doing a show in the streets at Daddy-O's, How to Rob an Industry, when he had that song out. So I said, 50, we gonna be good in Cancun because I got some Puerto Rican guys who work for the syndicate down there. So when I come down there, they always take care of me. They my cab service. You understand? Whatever I need, they got it. I'll be the only one holding. I say, yo, listen to me. They take care of me, 50, we good. He said, all right. So he took half the money, but I don't think 50 was going to show up anyway. And I'm glad he didn't, because the whole Murder Inc. and Rockefeller, everybody was down there. You understand? So now, I said, so what the fuck you doing in the pool, nigga? If he shot. So I just ran to the cab and I took it to the mall and I bought a card. It cost me $100. And you only get 10 minutes on that damn card if you calling back to the States. And I used that whole $100 on calling 50 phone, calling 50 phone, calling 50 phone, calling 50 phone. And then one time his girl picked up. I said, yo, this Jean. Is 50 all right? She said, Jean. I guess she was right there with him or something like that. She said, yeah, he all right. So I guess she told him to talk to me. I said, just tell him if he need anything that I'll be back on such and such day. So then I told Chad I spoke to 50. He said, man, if I was you, I wouldn't go near that kid because of the police, the detectives, and all this other shit like that. I said, yeah, all right. So I called 50 again, and he ain't pick up no more. So I was one of the dudes that called him when he got shot. And his girl picked up for me. And I guess she told him to tell him, he told her or nodded or something like that to let him know that he was good. So that's what happened.
Do you know who was behind the hit?
Do I know who was behind that hit? No, I don't know who was behind it, bro. I don't know who was behind it. I know that Irv Gotti and them had put it out there like they was a part of it and they was going to do it that night, the day at the meeting, from their conversations and how they was acting. I know they had to have something to do with it. And they come to find out that the dudes who did it was working for Murder Inc. So I can't even speak on that about where they hate or where they respect or anything about them came at. But I know that when Irv Gotti and them did the shit that they did, everybody said that was Supreme doing it. And I don't think Supreme would have disrespect the respect that Chaz had for 50 and played a part in that. He knew that was some rap shit. That wasn't no gangster shit. But everybody, it's a bigger story that it's some gangsters that Supreme had it done. You understand? And I don't believe that. Because Supreme wouldn't have put up no money to get nothing like that done.
How was that like in real time with 50? Him getting shot, people think he dead, he survived, he come out with In the Club, it's a big hit, he's a big star. Like, how was that like, yo?
Well, before 50 made his first hit records in How to Rob Things, when I heard 50 in the studio at Black Hands, I knew 50 was going to be the next one. I told Chaz that. I could hear talent, bro. You know, I don't care what nobody say. I told Chaz that 50 was going to be the next one. He said, but he's not doing what we need him to do for Black Hands. And then when that In the Club came out, when that Wankster came out, you could see that. I had been around enough to see.
Check this out. I'm going to show you how I afforded this car.
Yo, tell me what you think about that, bruh. That's not even half of it, bruh. I'm about to let you.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
I'm about to let you hear the whole thing that Gene said. He finally come up with the whole story, like a few weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna let you hear that.
So who was 50 girl during that time?
Huh? His son's mother.
Okay.
His mother. It was Marquis' mother at that time, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy work.
No, but hold on. Before I play this, I want you to expand on it with me. Yeah. So even when Gene said that he posted that he did this video, 50 posted this whole video right here. This video I'm about to show you. He posted this whole video on his channel. He said, "No lies detected." So 50 realized it wasn't. 50 realized it wasn't. It wasn't. Salute. We got the Mac Mizzle in the building, Mr. Mac Mizzle.
Yeah. Salute, Mac. Salute. Wagwan.
What's happening?
What's happening? We here, yo. So 50 on his Instagram, he posted this video right here. I'm about to show y'all. He posted this video and said, "No lies detected. Gene telling the truth." But 50 thought it was Supreme at first, but I guess after time went on, he realized it wasn't Supreme. You dig what I'm saying? So I want you to listen to this, yo. And we about to get it popping in here. You know how we do, man. It's the King of New Jersey's BTBTV. We bully the bullies. I got my brothers Cross and the Mac Mizzle show on the building. In the building, y'all make sure y'all slam your hand on that like button. Make sure y'all come on here, show love, subscribe, share this live, and let's get back to the content, yo.
Facts.
Here we go. Right here.
Graph under Graph, he did a lot of parties all over the nation. He did parties with Shaq at the when Shaq had the All-Star Cafe in Vegas. We used to do parties all over the country, and he was over Black Hands Entertainment, and he also did that compilation album where you got DMX, 50 Cent, JaRule, Donald Goins, a host of other people on that Black Gangster album from Donald Goins. He did that. So I was head of his security. 50 was over there. I had a group myself called No Fear. They was from Harlem. This guy named Mel, hot, crazy. He would have been bigger than Jay-Z had he not listened to the guys that was pulling him away. Trust and believe, his name was Swar. They call him Swar. His name was Mel. Crazy, lyrically crazy. He was so hot that, yo, 50 might hate this. 50 will take anybody's shit. Mel was over there putting hooks on 16 bars. He'll do 16 bars. He was the first one doing that. 50 took that and put it on the street first. He heard it from Mel and put it on the streets and started putting it on tapes and taking people music. Mel was taking people music and redoing their songs. Like if you do the hot song and you was an R&B or a rapper and you had a hot beat, Mel will take your beat. He would take your song and do a whole new song and put it on a CD. But he wasn't putting it in the street like 50. 50 took that idea, ran with him, blew him straight up. Crazy. Everybody want the 50 Cent track. Everybody want to hear from 50. That's how that got to Eminem from hearing 50 mixtapes. But that ideal came from Lil Mel from 112th Street. So I was going up to Black Hands and everything like that. So then we was going to do a show in a party in Vegas. And I had seen 50 at the Black Hands a couple of times. So when we got off the plane, I made sure 50 was good. And I made sure 50 was all right. We was like, I said, you all right? He said, yeah, you all right? He said, yeah. I said, you can handle this? He said, yeah, I can handle this. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got a lot of rat, bastards out here. And because I was in law enforcement and everything like that, I didn't,
Did you know that you can have permanent teeth in just 24 hours? That's right. Only 24 hours and your new smile is ready. And with affordable...
Me making sure he was all right because he was a part of our team, somebody don't look at that like this, we being safe. I'm looking at us, you all gonna be safe. I don't care what the circumstances of the situation was at that time in my life. So 50 was all right. So we was down at the gate where we was giving a party and it was just me and 50. And we was just talking. 50 was the type of dude, he was young and he would just write everything. You be talking to him and he be writing shit down. That's why I think that song he got called Hands Up or Up in Here or something like that. He said, I got the savoir faire. I told him what savoir faire means. That was my company. You know what I'm saying? Or get up. I think that's the song or whatever like that. So he said, I got the savoir faire. That was the name of my company, savoir faire. You know what I'm saying? So I told him what it meant. So he put that in the song. So long story short, Irv Gotti and Supreme and all them pulled up. And Supreme jumped out the car. And him and 50 was just mean mugging each other. And Supreme was telling me, like, yo, Gene, tell the old man that I'm not coming to the party and everything like.
Yo, let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all think 50 Cent had Supreme a little nervous, a little intimidated? Because you heard the rumor, right? It said that when Supreme seen 50, 50 was on the block getting money. Supreme rubbed his head, and 50 rubbed his head back, like, what's up, little nigga? And 50 like, what's up, little nigga? And he said, everybody said Supreme didn't like that shit. Do y'all think that was the start of
I don't think he was scared of him. I think he respected him. But I feel like Supreme had to keep his, he had to keep his persona, which again, 50 was like the YNs now. Like he really didn't he respected the OGs, but he didn't look at them like that. He looked like he can get money with them too.
Yeah. And from all the stories we heard, he was getting money with them OG niggas. He was out there hustling with them OG niggas when he was 11 or 12 years old. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I think I believe you. I didn't say I think I know Supreme respected 50. But I also think Supreme's a little nervous of 50's come up. Because 50 was crashing out on Murder Inc. And he's like, yo, man, this is my money. I'm eating off these dudes. Leave these dudes alone. And 50 wasn't beat. He's like, nah, man. Yo, I respect you. I don't respect them. So it was one story. They said that it was talking about one story. 50 had pulled up on his motorcycle, had to slam on him, and Supreme was like, "Don't do it." 50 looked at him. He's like, "Yo, for me, don't do it, man." 50's about to shoot up the video set. You know what I'm saying? The video shoot. So 50 rolled off. So I believe 50 thought like this. This is why I think 50, even with Chaz Williams, Slim.
Yeah.
Slim switch sides on me. Why you want me to die, homie? 50 felt like this. How you gonna be my manager and be friends with the niggas I'm beefing that are my enemies? That's like me and you, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
But do you think they probably tried to tell him a long time ago, like, yo, Fifth, he didn't have nothing to do with it, and he still didn't want to believe it?
Who didn't have nothing to do with it?
Supreme.
I think 50 didn't believe it because even back then it was rumors that Supreme had something to do with 50 Cent's mother getting murdered.
Right.
And 50 probably didn't believe it then, but then when he got shot up like that, almost lost his life, he probably thought, oh, yeah, Supreme had something to do with this. But the guy who did the hit, he said Supreme was in the car when they ran down 50.
What does Mac think?
Mac, what you think, bro? There you go. He fell off. Something was wrong with his phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that shit right there. Oh, here we go. Here go Mac. Right here. Hold on. Mac, what's your thoughts on that shit, Mac?
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
I mean, 50 always had a long-standing beef with Preem, you know? And then Preem goes and manages these niggas that's not from the same hood. So obviously you're gonna have beef. And then it kept escalating, and you know. I think they knew not to fuck with 50, but 50 was just on his bully shit, you know. He got shot up, yeah, but at the end of the day, anybody could get it, you know what I'm saying? So JaRule bringing that shit back 25 years later, it's kind of lame still, you know.
But what you think about Supreme saying 50 ain't no rap. 50 never ratted on nobody. He's like 50 is the asshole.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, shit. What did 50 rat on, you know?
JaRule bring out this fake paperwork, the same fake paperwork that was debunked over 25 years ago.
Yo, you remember the beef DVD? That was debunked from years ago. That shit was fake.
Yeah.
So I don't know. And then 50's going on the radio saying, why I feel like I'm the bully. You know what I'm saying? I think is not gonna say that.
Yeah.
Comfortable in his skin, so I don't know, man.
Yeah. Hey, yo, Cross. So tell me, would you have thought that Slim Swiss size or you? Hold on, I'm gonna let you go first. Hold on, let me let you go what Jane said first, and then you tell me that. Then you tell me what you think. I'm about to go back to what Jane said, and then you tell me what you think. Hold up.
Like that, and we going over to this other spot and everything like that. I said, y'all not coming, you're not gonna go up there and tell him yourself? He said, nah, man. And him, you know, he never took his eye off 50. And 50 never took his hand off one of my girlfriends. And I was like, because he was leaning over the thing like this, and I knew where he had put it at. So 50 was leaning over the thing like this. I was like, yo, damn. So I was like, why he was mean mugging? I didn't know it was a problem between them two at the time. So he got back in the limousine, they drove off. And so then I told Chaz the situation. I was like, yo, what you calling them ain't coming to the party. Because he asked me, did I see them? I said, yeah, they came up in the limousine. They said they wasn't coming to the party. You know what I'm saying? He said, I said, but him and 50 was mean mugging each other. He was like, yeah, he started laughing. Chad started laughing. I said, yeah. He said, so what happened? I said, nothing. 50 was all right. He said, what you mean 50 all right? I said, he had one of my girlfriends with him. And then Chad said, he had what? He said, go get that from him. I said, man. Yo, he good, man. He be all right. He all right. He said, man, boy. So that was it. So me and 50, we just became cool. We used to talk. And then after the big fight that he had with JaRule in Atlanta, JaRule and the people like that in Atlanta, they set up a meeting at Black Hands. So they set the meeting up at Black Hands, you know, for them to talk. But prior to that, they had caught 50 at the, I don't know if it was the Hit Factory or the Sound, the Hit Factory or the Sound Studio, one of them studios down on 40th Street like that, or 50-something Street, and they stabbed them up. Now, They stabbed 50 up. So now Chaz had worked the deal out. Nobody knows this, bro. Chaz had worked the deal out for Irv Gotti and them to give 50 $250,000.
Everybody be asking me, man, does the Blue Chew actually work?
Bro, you get a month for free. He had worked a deal for them to get $250,000. So now, don't nobody supposed to know this, but 50 and Chaz and Irv Gotti and them team. So now, whatever the situation is, Chaz told 50 when they was in Atlanta, he said, go talk to Ja, man. Y'all talk that shit out. But he never asked 50 how 50 felt about it. This is the conversation that me and 50 is having. Because we had this conversation in Dr. Dre's studio when I was bodyguarding Scott Storch. You understand? So now, when 50 went over to Ja, he just snuffed him, cracked. Because Ja had a little baseball bat in his hand, hitting it like this. You know, so when 50 got close enough, 50 snuffed him. So they all tried to jump. Chaz jumped in there, grabbed 50, but they wasn't going to try to hit 50 after Chaz grabbed him. They wasn't going to try to hit 50. And if they'd have hit Chaz, they knew all hell would have been broken out. All hell would have been loose in Queens. You understand? They was just trying to get to 50, but they couldn't get to him because Chaz had grabbed him up and everything like that. So Chaz took him to the room. You understand? He said, my man, why you do that and stuff like that? And 50 explained to him, you know, he trying to act like he was a certain way, you know, JaRule. So he snuffed him in the whole 9 yards. He didn't know he had the bat in his hand. He was acting like he wanted something. And then Chaz found out later that 50 got Ja chained. You understand? And so then Chaz asked 50, what do you want to be? Because he finally had the chain. He said, what are you going to be, a robber or a rapper? I need to know this. And 50 said, what, I supposed to lose my watch, brother? You know what I'm saying? I lost my watch. He lose something, I lose something. You know what I'm saying? So now Chaz gave 50 Movado with diamonds in it for his watch, for him losing his watch at the time. I don't know what kind of watch 50 had, but that's what Chaz gave him. 50 eventually gave the chain back, and Ja got his chain back like that. So now the deal is going sour from the 250,000 they were supposed to give 50. You understand? They were supposed to get 250,000 because they was thinking that 50 was supposed to, they had put out paperwork and lies that 50 snitched and 50 didn't snitch. 50 ain't say nothing about that stabbing. That came from the DJ and the engineer, and the prosecutor put 50 name in the paperwork as a protective witness. You understand? But 50 ain't give him no kind of statement or nothing like that. That was checked and clarified. You understand what I'm saying? So he didn't give him no kind of statement. So they were supposed to get 50 to 250,000, but the manager of 50 found out. I don't know who told him. I don't know how he got the information. So then after the fight, you understand, they decided they wasn't going to get a 250,000 because 50 didn't come to the meeting. All right. This meeting was at Black Hands in Queens, right? Supreme had an office downstairs. Black Hands was upstairs. So now Chaz is calling me. Say, where you at? I said, I'm on my way, bro. Y'all doing this shit at 1 o'clock. I got a job. I'm working. You understand? But I'm coming through my lunch break, you know what I'm saying? Like that. He said, yo, you heard from 50. I was like, nah, why should I hear from 50? He said, yo, he ain't here, bro. He ain't here. So I said, call him. He said, I've been calling him. He not picking up. So I said, all right. So I call him. So I call him. 50 pick up on the first ring. I said, what up, Fifth? I said, what up, Fifth? What's going on? He said, nothing, Gene, what's happening? I said, yo, man, why you ain't at the meeting? He said, oh, you know, I knew that was the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? He said, oh, I got to go down to Columbia. I know it was Columbia, Tommy Mottola, something like that. He told him like that. He said, yo, tell them to reschedule it. And I said, man, you call and tell them. You understand? He said, tell him, Gene, do that for me. I said, yeah, all right. So then I called Chaz back. I said, I just got to 50, man. He said, tell y'all to reschedule it, man. He said, man, everybody's out here. He knew about it. Chaz started running down on me like this. I said, yo, bro, he said he ain't gonna be able to make it, bro. Y'all, I don't know what you want me to do, bro. I'll be there in a minute and everything like that. So now, me and Chaz meet up. Chaz tells me, yo, we ain't dealing with 50 no more. And I said, we? He said, yeah, he's not doing what Black Hands need to do for him. I said, all right. I said, but we? What do you mean we? He said, well, I made the introduction to y'all too. So, and you're part of Black Hands and everything like that. I'm just letting you know what we're not doing. Well, I said, yo, Chaz, I'm my own man. You know, I make those decisions for myself. You know what I'm saying? Because at that meeting that 50 didn't show up with, Irv Gotti and them was worried about if something happened to 50, what Chaz was going to do. You understand? They was worried about whatever happened to 50. Yo, something happened to us. Yo, Slim, you ain't gonna you ain't gonna change your mind. Slim said, change my mind. He ain't even calling me. He ain't dealing with me. You know what I'm saying? Change my mind. I don't have nothing to do with that. He not with me. He not calling me back. He not speaking with me. So when they heard that, they felt.
Pause that real quick. He said, what I'm gonna do, brother, I don't care if me, you, or Mac fall out. Y'all my mans. We's cool. We work together. I fell out with y'all. I'm not talking to y'all for a minute. I got a lot on my mind. There's a lot of shit going on. And I don't know who to trust right now. I'm still gonna let you know. I'm still gonna be like, let you know if somebody gonna put a hit on you. You know what I'm saying? If the niggas just put a hit on you. Be careful, bro. I know you ain't talking to me right now. We going through our thing, but I'm letting you know as a big bro. Yo, they got it out for y'all. That's all Chaz had to do. Yo, hey, Reed. Matt Mills, am I lying? Y'all there? Hello? Mac Menzel. Hey, Reed, are y'all there? Cross. Mac, you there? I don't know what's wrong. I don't know what's wrong with their mic. Let me go back to the story there.
Felt that, and it wasn't supreme. Like everybody wanted, and it makes it bigger when people think it's supreme. You know, it wasn't supreme. The Murder Inc. people know who it was, and it wasn't supreme.
You.
The people who was standing there talking, Irv Gotti them, who was sitting there talking, worrying about what Chaz was going to.
Y'all heard what I said, though, right?
Yeah, you hear me now?
Yeah, you now. Cross, you there? But yeah, like I'm saying, even if I'm beefing with dudes, right? The first thing I'm gonna do if I hear something about somebody like me and you argue with boys, we just not talking. If I know somebody about to put a hit on you, I'm gonna let you know, even if I can't stop it.
Facts. No, that's a fact.
Why didn't Slim? Why didn't Chaz Williams do the same thing out of courtesy?
That's a good question. Very good question.
Is it because you have more love for them than you have for me? That's what I'm starting to think now.
the streets get sticky. Situations get sticky. Cause why do you say try to switch sides on me?
Yeah, he the what? Chad switch sides on me. Though it's cool. Why you want me to die, homie? Yeah. But this is what Jane had to say, bro. It's just crazy.
Going to say anything? Was Chaz is going to change his mind? Was Chaz people going to do anything if something happened to 50? That's how it went down. So they thought, okay, we're not going to pay a nigga the $250,000. We'll pay a nigga $25,000. And everybody know in the streets, this ain't just something that I'm making up. They know it wasn't Supreme. It was Irv Gotti and his people who put that on 50. That's why 50 hate them so much. You understand? So now, you understand? I call 50. 50 calls me back. Yo, Gene, you got a vest? I said, you gonna need one. He came over to the crib. I tried to fit him for one, and it did, you know, at that time I was 2X, 3X. He was.
All right. Yeah, hey, Reed, you there, Cross, right?
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. You my mans. Matt Mills my mans. We have a disagreement about something. And I'm like, yo, I don't know who to trust right now because you roll with these niggas that I'm beefing with. You know what I mean?
Right.
So no, I don't want to come to this meeting. And if y'all hear them talking about me doing something to me in meeting, what's your first thing gonna be? You know what I'm saying? They're talking about they're gonna Chad said he ain't talk to me. I gotta wash my hands with that. It's not I can't do nothing about it. So y'all do what y'all need to do. When you say y'all do what y'all need to do, you green lighting me to get hit, bruh. And we're supposed to be cooler than that.
Or he didn't agree with whatever he said, and he like, fuck it, yeah, y'all do what y'all gotta do. I don't want to put my hands on it. So I don't know.
If you my mans, and you hear that, your first thing you're gonna do, even we only talk, we ain't beefing. Y'all gonna leave me a message. Y'all gonna contact with somebody close to me, like, yo, tell Bowen to watch out because them niggas from the ink, they're coming for him, yo. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But listen what Gene had to say about it. Listen to this. I think you're missing it.
He was extra large.
Here we go. Listen what he said.
So
$97 premium, $20 were my fees, $118. Now I covered up.
They thought, okay, we're not gonna pay a nigga the $250,000. We'll pay a nigga $25,000. And everybody know in the streets, this ain't just something that I'm making up. They know it wasn't Supreme. It was Irv Gotti and his people who put that on 50. That's why 50 hate them so much. You understand? So now, you understand? I call 50. 50 calls me back. Yo, Gene, you got a vest? I said, you gonna need one. He came over to the crib. I tried to fit him for one, and it did, you know, at that time I was 2X, 3X. He was extra large, a large. It wasn't happening. You understand? So I gave him a cover. I said, just have somebody put your panels in this and sew it up on the side. You know, sew it tight. So if you get hit, you know what I'm saying, it won't be loose. Just sew it up, take it to the, I guess he didn't want to do, he took it. He took the cover. You understand? But I guess he didn't use it. You understand? But I told him that, bro, they coming at you. And so then we got into a conversation at Dre's studio. No, we got in a conversation in Puerto Rico at Jack the Rapper when he had blew up and he had that first hit album. You understand? The Black Hands crew was there. Everybody that him and this crew was walking through. 50 stopped. Everything he was doing, it came right over to me. He said, Gene, they can't stop what God got planned. I said, you right, bro. Gave me that. They went on with his people. Next time I seen him, he was at Dre's studio. He was doing 2 songs with Scott Storch, Candy Shop and some other song. He was doing Candy Shop or some other song that he was doing with Scott Storch. We had a long conversation, and I was like, yo, bro, you stop fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been my own man. And he said, yo, Gene, you was part of Black Hands. You understand? That's how I met you. Same Chaz really told me. He said, I didn't know who to trust. So I didn't fuck with nobody. I said, I can understand that based on the situation you went through. So I start seeing him, you know, come to Sue's Rendezvous. You know what I'm saying? K Slay started working with him, doing shit with him and everything like that. He always been a gentleman to me, always been a gentleman to him. And we just remained cool. And then when we got ready to do his documentary, I was going to be one of the headliners on his documentary, but the producer started talking crazy to me and tried to give me peanuts. And I was like, yo, listen here, Ma. Have 50 call me. And and that's how I went.
I'm happy you broke that down because a lot of people don't understand what Irv did to 50 to make him hate him so much.
My man, he's supposed to hate them. He's supposed to hate them. You understand? Them niggas was trying to take him out of here. Y'all wouldn't have seen Power. Y'all wouldn't have seen BMF. Y'all wouldn't have seen none of that shit if that shit would have went down there. But God had other plans for him. He's supposed to have it. They don't never supposed to take no rap shit and put it in the streets like that and have street niggas who don't give a F and do some crazy shit like that to the man. You understand what I'm saying? Over some rap shit. Get out of here, bro. He's supposed to hate him. You know, if it was me, I'd have sent flowers to his funeral. But he smoked a Gotti. So I guess that was cool. And that's real talk. And that's for and that's for that dude who called me talking about leave Irv Gotti name out of his mouth. Nah, I said Irv Gotti name. I'm still here. I'm gonna be here. Cause like my man told me, you can't stop what God got planned.
Yo, you can't stop what the true and living God got planned.
Word.
Hey, Ray.
Yo.
You heard that though, right?
Yep.
Gene was at the meeting when they was talking about him. And Gene called that nigga. 50 called him, Gene called him back. Gene called him, 50 called him back like, yo, I need a vest. Yeah, Gene, you got a vest. Gene said, you gonna need one. Yeah, that shit was funny. But yo, so I can see why he was pissed at Slim. You know what I'm saying? Like, Slim size on that niggas ride on me. Why you want me to die, homie? Only because I'm gonna tell you, if a motherfucker tell me they gonna do something, yeah, I don't give a fuck with me, you beef it or not. My first job is to inform you, yo, these niggas say they're gonna do something, yeah. Let me know what y'all want to do. Y'all my brothers still, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck the little shit we going to. I ain't gonna let these niggas know that. So we got an upper hand. But yo, let me know what y'all want to do. Y'all want to ride these niggas? Let's ride these niggas before they come at you. That's all he had to say to 50. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yep. Fact.
Nah, you right about that. Like I said again, it's deeper than, like they say, like Gene said, they had to bring it to the streets. Deeper than, bigger than rap.
Yeah, it's a rap. It's rap. It should have been some street beef. It was a rap beef. If you can't duel out with this nigga in the booth, why you if you can't duel out with this nigga in the booth to take your loss like a man. That's how I feel about it. But yo, so now that we're talking about Irv Gotti and JaRule, you know Irv Gotti and JaRule, they got a lot of suspect poses together. Let me pull one of them suspect poses up for y'all. Yeah, hold on. Wait, real quick. Hold up. Y'all gonna laugh at Pig. Gotti. And where the pic image is at? Where's that pic at? Hold up, man. I'm gonna find that pic for y'all. I'm looking at that pic. I'm gonna show y'all, yo. Tell me this ain't no zesty ass pic, yo. These niggas are zest monsters. Hold up. I'm right here. So I'm trying to find that. I got this. I use it as a screensaver. I mean, as a real photo shit on this video. Okay, I don't know why I can't find that shit, man. Up here. Where's the picture at, man? Well, I can't find a picture, but I want y'all to hear what Gene had to say about JaRule and Diddy encounter. Here we go right here, y'all. The JaRule and Diddy encounter.
All in it.
Let's hear it.
With Wells Fargo Premier, a team can help you.
First and foremost, I just want to say, I know a lot of people want to hear these stories and everything like that, because this is stuff that happened back in the day. And then maybe that if they knew there was going to ever be a YouTube, or they knew there was going to ever be social media, a lot of the stuff probably wouldn't have got played out like it did. But things happen, and these are just stories from the past. I would like to use that as what you call that, just to clear the facts up what's going on. But it all started, we was in Atlanta. And this story starts when I'm with Puff, and he's in the exotic bookstores, and he's doing shopping, right? He's shopping, getting his stuff and everything like that. So, you know, this is the first time I was ever in an exotic bookstore with Puff. So, you know, I'm giving him his space. He's taking things off the shelves and stuff like that, because they gave him a brown paper bag. When they gave him a brown paper bag, he was just putting stuff in there. So I said, damn, you know, he got to go put it on the counter and, you know, show everybody what he's getting. So as he going, I'm just looking at the places where he picking stuff from. So there's one part he picked up some things from up here on my left side. And then he picked like quite a few of them down. I'm like, okay. He put them in the bag. So when I went by there and I looked up there, and it said butt plugs. And I was like, hey, yo. I was messing with him. Because people don't understand, you know, we was like friends. He was a part of the same gang. So I'm still gonna tease him. I'm still gonna mess with him and everything like that. I could do that. It wasn't just no security thing. So I say, yo, what are you getting this for? And it said butt plugs. And he was like, yo, can I do my shopping by myself? I said, yeah, you could do it by yourself, brother. And he started walking and everything like that. When he got to, I just waited at the counter. So when he got to the counter, he didn't even have to show the guy nothing. He just gave the guy a wad of money. I mean, like he gave the guy a stack, something like this. And Puff wasn't the dude that carried no 20s and no 50s and nothing like that. And I mean, like, he just said, boom. And we walked out the store. So we had to leave Atlanta and go to North Carolina for a show. You understand? And it was him, this rapper, Sarah, and this other girl. We all got on a G5 jet, and we flew to G4 jet, and we flew to North Carolina. So later on that, I think that afternoon, same day, this rapper and him, they all in the room together. You know, it's Sarah, the girl, Puff, and this dude, this rapper. So I'm hearing at the door and stuff like that, like, yeah. So then next thing you know, somebody rang the doorbell. We had the presidential suite where we was at. So I opened the door and the dude said, yo, I'm here for my cousin. I said, who your cousin? And he said, JaRule. I said, well, he busy right now. He said, he busy doing what? I said, he with Puff. They're in the room. They busy. They don't want to be bothered. He said, well, I'm going in there. I said, bruh, you ain't going in there because he told me they don't want nobody to be bothering them. He was like, yo, I don't care, man. I'm going in there. That bull like that. I said, yo, bruh, Jesus Christ had to come down here and take the air out of my body before you get in that room right there. Watch. He tried to bum rush me. I grabbed his and threw him against the piano. When I threw him into the piano, Puff and JaRule runs out the room. Puff got his towel, Ja grabbing his towel, but they butt the naked. And so then Ja was like, yo, what's going on? Yo, G, that's my cousin. He know me well, you know, and Puff was like, yo, G, what happened? I said, he tried to get in the room. I told him he couldn't get in the room. And he was like, Puff looked at Ja. He said, yo, Ja said, you ain't want to go in that room because there's a lot of freaking going on. So I was like, oh, he said it was a lot of freaking going on. So that was basically that story, man. You know what I'm saying? They went back in the room.
Butt plugs and all that. What's a lot of freaky shit going on, yo? Let me know what you thinking.
Yo, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
There's a lot of freaky shit going on.
God damn.
JaRule said that.
Yeah, he was wild.
But yeah, I think that's that's your thing, Sean. You hear it now?
No,
That was Mac Missile. Hello? Yeah, that's Mac. Hey, Mac, go out, come back in, Mac. Your shit echoing.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, remember what DMX said about JaRule? Hold on, I found the picture too, bro. Now tell me this picture ain't zesty as hell. Is that a zest? Don't they look they all high off ecstasy, getting emotional and mushy?
Yeah, you could tell they was tore up. They was kicking it, boy, especially Irv.
Irv got his sack on Ja's ass.
Yeah, they look like they got turned up.
They're about to go to the hotel room, finish getting turned up. Let's leave the wives home, Ja. We're gonna leave the wives home. All right, Ja. Before we end this, we're about to get this Terrence Howard situation. Yeah. We're gonna find out what Terrence Howard had to say. Are y'all ready for Terrence Howard? Big reveal.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go, yo. Hold on. Where's it at? Hold on. Is this it right here? No, let me, hold on 1 second. Hold on, where that Terrence Howard thing at? Here we go, yo.
You need therapy. Am I right?
What benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal. And what we were brought in here as men. We produce 1,500 sperm per heartbeat for a reason, because the aggression is necessary. You don't trade that in, no matter what.
Because PDiddy be wanting the body. And you got to tell him no. You got to tell him no.
There's a lot of things that people do that end up sitting and they can't get over it. Got to keep getting high, hoping to get it out of the head. You know,
I can't play that music. Hold on. Here we go right here.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no
hell
consequences
yeah. I
when you
mean,
said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you know to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room.
Is Frank Lucas Jr. on the side? Is the
A
real
man
Frank
don't
Lucas
take
Jr.
the
from New
same
Jersey?
things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room.
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no
Hell
consequences
yeah. I
when you
mean,
said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks after.
Frank Lucas, what's good, my boy? Is this the real Frank Lucas Jr. from North New Jersey or NYC? Let me know. Let me know. Yo, bro, you hear that?
Yeah, I got that. You know, I did a video on that. Yeah, it was crazy.
So what you think about it? What you think about what Terrence Howard said, bro?
I mean, like you said, man, like he had said it, that whole thing. He talked about Jay-Z and all that, but he was just saying about how messed up it is, these industries and stuff like that, man, to be, you know, giving in or whatever. So I just was anywhere. Yeah, so that's one thing he didn't want to do, compromise, none of that.
Oh, we television. He a chump. Should have said something when Diddy was out.
Yeah, he should have whooped his ass or something. I would have whooped his ass. Like if dude say something to you like that, or your homeboy know, or your manager know, man, you supposed to whoop that nigga ass. At least have a video say, yeah, did he try to holler at me? I got the video where I whooped his ass.
Yeah. Because once I run into to the old nigga, Jay Prince Sr., once I relieve him of his jewels and his valuables, I'm gonna have a video of me doing it. I'm gonna have a Pooh Shiesty on. But Jay Prince Sr.
Whoop his ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna whoop his ass though too, but I'm gonna take them jewels too.
Yeah.
Man, I'm still a street nigga at heart, man. Sometimes a nigga, when you beat a nigga up, you gotta take what's theirs, man. And give me that. You don't deserve that. You're a loser, nigga. Give me that. Put it around my nigga waiting in the next live. What the nigga go snitch? He's a gangster. Gangsters don't snitch, do they? Hey, you heard me? Gangsters don't snitch, do they?
Yeah, I don't know. They do now. It's 2025. Shit, you don't know nothing what they do now.
But yeah, for real, Everything we talked about, like even with Terrence Howard, I respect that he came out and said something. Like everybody said, he should have said something earlier. He definitely should have. But that JaRule and that Diddy part, the Diddy freak off, I bet you them chicks was sitting there looking at each other while him and JaRule was going at it. But look at these two nasty son of my bitches. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he definitely was on some nasty shit.
I bet you that room smelled like butter balls. It smelled like ass and balls in that room. It smelled like a man's locker room. After playing a 40-minute basketball game. Yo, it smelled like a prison cell. When you come out of reception and y'all in the cell together, y'all can't get your shower yet. It smelled like butts and balls. That's what it smelled like in that hotel room. I know those sheets look like peanut butter was on them. Peanut butter and baby oil.
Yeah, them niggas nasty.
You know the funny thing, all right, when JaRule was on the Breakfast Club, do you see how JaRule look? Don't the nigga look like he close to death too, bro? You see how swollen his face is?
Yeah.
How bad the acne in his face is? Hold up. Yeah, people don't understand. Look at JaRule. Tell me this nigga don't look like he about to kick the bucket. Let me see. Hold up. JaRule on Breakfast Club. Let me see. Here we go. Here we go right here, yo. Look at this nigga.
I'm like,
how did you feel about it?
Of course, nobody likes all this goofy shit, but it's goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm not, you know, Preem said it best. You know, I spoke to Preem the other day. Preem has always got the right words and shit and the right things to say. Cause I was hot. You know what I'm saying? I was hot. I was ready to go nuclear and shit. But I say, so I spoke to Preem anyway. And Preem said, he said, Rule. He said, here's what you gotta understand about who we are and what we are. He said, we are masters of self-defense. And I said, I love that. I said, because I don't want to start to make trouble with people.
Hold on.
But if
Preem told him that, or did Preem say that when he went live, he was talking about his son? Remember he told his son we are masters of self-defense?
Yeah, maybe Preem told him.
Now hold up. This was Zipper the Drip had to say about it. Hold up. Here, you gotta see what I'm saying. Zipper Drip from Queens too. He heard that, he just ran with it. Let me see. I think it's it right here.
JaRule went on Twitter this morning, you heard? But before we get into it, I'm gonna need you to stall off on the like button, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you be notified when I drop these videos and all that. And I be checking the comment section. A lot of y'all be talking about, where this pig cat at? I ain't never seen this pig cat. What's up? Right. Yeah, I mean? So, yo, check it, right? So, boom, I know y'all seen that video I put up yesterday in regards to 50 Cent and JaRule. Now I'm saying part 10,000. Yeah, that's what it seemed like, part 10,000. JaRule talking about he thought about going, but Preem said, yada, 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 yada. I got good word. He ain't even talked to Preem, but that's neither here nor there, you heard? I figured he heard when Preem told P2 that we masters at self-defense. He just ran with it and said he spoke to Preem, and Preem told him that the other day. Irv died a couple months ago. So if you spoke to Preem the other day, but Irv died a couple months ago, that math ain't even mathing for him to tell you like to not respond to 50 Cent. You heard? Yeah, it ain't even make sense, but that's neither here nor there either. Today.
Do you think this candle will cover up my friend's overpowering cologne?
Impossible. Hey, do you mind paying? All I have are nickels.
There we go.
At 50 Cent. Nigga, you a used car salesman. Everything you do is trash. Music, one good album. After that, trash. Liquor, trash. TV shows, trash. Yeah, I said it. Trash. How many times you gonna make the same show? That coke stepped on. Parenting, trash. Character, trash. Nigga, you the garbage man. Y'all want to break that down? Y'all want to break how much truth is it to this right here? What JaRule said. He's on a tirade. He told her, yo, he telling this nigga the SMD all over Twitter and all that. 50 SMD. He throwing Franks at him and all of that. Yeah. Y'all want to break this down? Nigga, you a used car salesman. Everything you do is trash. Music, one good album. After that, trash. I think that's kind of cap. I think that's... I'm a 50 Cent fan. I'm a 50 Cent fan. Like, I like 50 music more than I like JaRule music, right? I don't know one JaRule verse front to back. I know several 50 Cent verses front to back. That's just the harsh reality of the business that we in. I don't know no JaRule verses from front to back. I know several 50 Cent verses front to back. JaRule made songs that was catered to the ladies. His most successful songs was catered to the ladies. 50 most successful songs was like gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? So ordinarily, the gangsters was going, you know, take the 50 more so than JaRule. JaRule, like, he was making Sucker for Love songs. What would I be without you? The thought alone might break me. What, nigga? I ain't never felt like that over no bitch. Respectfully. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't relate. But anyway, I can relate to what he's saying right here. He's saying, yo, you had one good album, and then the other one was trash. That's cap, but he talking that talk. Jay-Z said the same shit to Nas. And I'm saying, two of them shits was due. One was the other was Illmatic. Jay was fronting. Nas had 3 fire albums at the time. Jay-Z was fronting. I think JaRule is fronting right here. He said the liquor's trash. I don't drink liquor like that. I wouldn't know, you heard? The TV shows. I watch Power. I watch Raising Kanan. I thought BMF was trash. I thought the Tommy show was trash. The white guy, his show by itself, I thought that was trash. I thought BMF was trash, but Power and Kanan is fire. So I feel like that's 500. That's bad 500. And then the show that was on ABC with the nigga that gave the time back, that was fire. That was fire. So now he over 500. He winning. He above 500 in shows. I'm keeping it a buck. I think BMF is trash. I think Tommy's show is trash, right? But the show that was on ABC, the nigga that was in jail, and he gave the time back, he fought his own case. That was fire. That show was fire. Power was fire. And Raising Kanan is fire too. So that's three fire shows, two trash.
Both Powers was fire. And Raising Kanan. BMF was fire.
He's over 500. He's one game over 500. Boom. What else this nigga said to this nigga, man? This nigga, he wilding. Told him SMD. Somebody said, yo, 50 ain't gonna let this slide. Ja said he got shot 9 times and did nothing. Stop glazing this clown. He got shot 9 times and did nothing. That's exactly what I told him to say yesterday. That's exactly what I told him to say yesterday. I told him, yo, you supposed to tell that nigga shot you when you was hollering in that car. Yeah, the statute of limitations is up. You supposed to bend to you. Yeah, you talk your talk. Yeah, because this you supposed to bend. I think it's a little bit too late. I think it's a little bit too late for this, but you might as well tell the whole story how it went down. Tell us who Irv paid to put that work in. Tell us how he did it. Tell us if he gave him the money in a brown paper bag, if he gave it to him, now I'm saying in knots. Now I'm saying let us know. You might as well. It's a good story to tell because niggas is about to have these tweets all over the internet. It's about to be mad videos up. You already know 50's going to respond. He's going to be going crazy. Like, this is serious business. This is serious business right here. You wild. You telling nigga SMD, telling yo, you got shot 9. You got shot 9 times. Oh, he said this too. Hold up. What else he said? He said, we said this right here. Boom. Somebody posted this right here, right? Somebody said, yo, he ended Murder Inc. JaRule said, you right. He told the feds Murder Inc. had him shot, and they put us under federal indictment with the rat emoji.
Shout out to Cross the Boss. My bad, about to get off the panel. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go check out, subscribe to his channel. The Plug Podcast by Cross. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's just me, and I'm gonna hold it down like I always do. Let's finish this up before I get out of here.
I don't like this right here, Ja. I don't like y'all calling 50 a rat still. You know why? Because the other day you was on the Breakfast Club and you made it known that you spoke to Preem. And Preem always has the right words. That's what you said, John. You said Preem always has the right words. When Preem talks to you, you listen. When Preem talk to us, we listen too. You know what we remember Preem saying, John? That 50 wasn't no rat. We remember Supreme, the businessman. Used to push the bulletproof BM in his head, get you seasick, sat back and peep shit, rolled the easy water in, they ain't get blunted, had the whole project working for 50 or 500. That nigga, that 50 was talking about in that song.
Yo, let me say something about that. Ain't nobody ever will have me work for $50 or $500 pack. That, yo, what's good, bro? Ain't nobody gonna ever have me working off a $50 for $500 pack. I look like give you 500, I'll take 50. Nigga, bite my meat. It's not happening, bro. I remember a nigga tried that when I was a kid, Joe. This nigga gave me a quarter of a key. This was I was a kid. I was like in the ninth grade. He gave me a quarter of a key. He told me, oh, for every 1,000 to bring him back 900. Well, you know what I did? We used to call it back, man. We used to call it skunk. I skunked that nigga for the whole thing, the whole 250 grand. Nigga, come get it in blood now, nigga. You got me crazy as hell. I took that shit like, nigga, come get that shit in blood. The nigga, the clothes designer out of Elizabeth too. His name is Anthony Eastwick. Yeah, I put his name out there because the nigga was given minus back in the day. He don't do it now. He's a clothes designer now. But back in the day, he was given minus drugs and cell phone, man. He was robbing them.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, bro. I don't know, nigga. Crazy as hell, man. Like I said, all is old, so I can talk about it now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this nigga also was hanging with Erica Kane, the biggest, tallest, fattest drag queen in Elizabeth, New Jersey. That's how the nigga got on. I put niggas out, man. What they gonna do to me? You gonna beat me up? I'm scared. I'm gonna be scared, nigga. Nah, man. Come on, man. Yeah.
Yeah, them old niggas try to get up over on the young niggas back in the day.
Man, you ain't getting over on me. Eat some meat, nigga. Not my meat, because I ain't gay, but go eat somebody meat, nigga.
Money. Yeah.
Come on, working on 50 or 500. Nah. Hold on, let me go back to the video, yo. Nah.
He said 50 ain't tell on him. He said 50 ain't rat on him. I remember being in Sing Sing with Baby Ball. Like, damn, son, that's fucked up, son. We fuck with this nigga 50 Cent, B. Like, yo, son, he told on your brother, man? He ain't tell on my brother. He ain't tell on your brother? Nah, he ain't tell on my brother. My brother said he ain't tell on him. My brother said he ain't tell on him. Preem, out his own mouth, said 50 ain't tell on him. So if the gangster niggas from Queens told us, the other gangsters, that 50 ain't tell on him, we pulled the Jack the rapper nigga saying that he a rat. We pulled the Jack the rapper nigga saying he a rat. When Preem tell JaRule to fall back, don't do nothing, we masters at self-defense, that's the law. Oh yeah, Preem always got the right words. He always got the right words. He said 50 ain't a rat, or he ain't tell on him. 50 ain't rat on me.
See this? This is a 400-ounce bar of solid gold. Back in the 20s, this could buy you a decent...
Hello? What we supposed to do with this? So this is what I'm saying. So you just ranting and raving? Is you just ranting and raving? Is this tirade just you ranting and raving? Things that you want to be true? Oh, you got all your shows is trash. That's what you want to be true? You got one good album. That's what you want to be true? The Massacre wasn't good? You saying get rid? Which one? Which one was good? Get Rich or Die Trying or The Massacre? Which one? Because The Massacre sold 1.4 million in 4 days. Click-it-D, clank, click-it-D, clank. That was a good album. Yeah. God, give me style. God, give me style. God, give me great. Yeah, you remember that shit. Yeah, I ain't got to sing all that shit. You remember. Yeah. I'm saying this is this rant what you wanted to really, like, tell us what really happened, nigga. Yeah. Tell us who Irv paid that money to when them niggas went and got that nigga. It's time. The statute of limitations is up. Irv is gone. So even if the statutes wasn't up, Irv is not here anymore. Blame it all on Irv and tell us what happened. Yeah, you alluded to it right here. Oh, he got shot 9 times and didn't do nothing. On the Breakfast Club, you said when they asked you about that, oh, wait, he got nothing to do with him getting shot. So what you bringing that up for? What you bringing that up for? That he got shot 9 times and didn't do nothing. That ain't got nothing to do with you, right? Or which one is it? Or is your Twitter hacked? We don't know. Because, you know, niggas be getting their accounts hacked and all of that. And people, it'd be other people in there typing. So we don't even know if this is JaRule. But I know this is coming from JaRule's account.
Uh-huh. Yo, hold on. Let me go. Hold on.
Zip with the clip.
Zip with the clip. I didn't get it. But listen to this part, though. Zip gonna let him hard. That's right.
The views and opinions expressed by Zip is not always the views and opinions held by Zip. Sometimes they come from the cat. The cat doesn't identify as a cat. It believes it's a pit bull. So around here, we refer to it as pit cat. In this video, we're going to be talking about that paperwork that JaRule just dropped with 50 Cent name all in it. Yeah, let's get to that. But before we do, start off on the like button, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you'll be notified when I drop these videos and all that. All right, so boom, for the past few days, you already know, you patched into the patch. You know I've been dropping videos in regards to the JaRule and 50 Cent beef, you heard? So, you know, in this latest installment, JaRule decided to put that paperwork back up. So now check it out. In regards to this paperwork, right? I went to jail September 2002. Think about what I'm telling you. I went to jail September 2002. 50, that summer, he was taking off, you heard? Signed with M like the end of the summer. He used to, it came on MTV News like the end of the summer. 50 had signed with Eminem and all of that. You know what I'm saying? And it was on. I got locked up September 02. Wankster had already been out. You know what I'm saying? Wankster had already been out for like a whole year already. While I was on the island, he dropped the Wankster video. And he had his son. He had his son with the little Barbie doll, the JaRule Barbie doll, with the guitar piece on and all that. Threw it in the garbage, like, and it was on after that. It was up for the Murder Inc. after that. You heard? They was going back and forth. So during this time, JaRule and them is calling 50 Cent a snitch. Oh, yo, he a rat, he a snitch. We got the paperwork, blah, 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 blah. He signed order of protection, whatever. Mind you, we in jail. None of them is in jail. So it's not like the paperwork is in jail with us. They outside in the town with this paperwork, you heard? We in jail. We just hearing about it. They talking about it on Hot 97, Power 105.1. They mentioning it in all of the XXL, Source magazines and all of this. They like it's a big deal that 50 had an order of protection that 50 supposed to be on blah 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 blah. That was a big deal, you heard? I must admit, I am one of the people who never saw said documents where 50 supposedly signed an order of protection against these dudes. Right? In this latest installment of the beef, I'm talking 25 years later. 25 years later, JaRule posts some paperwork. The paperwork is from March 24th, 2000. The paperwork is from March 24th, 2000. Now, when JaRule posts this paperwork, this is what he says. 50 Cent, go ahead and lie. Tell these good people that the paperwork is fake so I can send this next shot. We got receipts, boo-boo. You know what I mean? So this is what he said. And then he got the rat emoji up there. And you know, it's like, are you implying that 50 Cent is a rat because of these papers right here? Let's read these papers, right? So boom.
Steve, you always buy books, but I never see you reading.
Paperweights. Hey, do you mind getting this? Because I only have euros.
My pleasure, because I earn unlimited 2% cash back.
Yep. You're born.
I'm right here, bro. I'm right here. You ready?
Yeah, you see that shit that Terrence Howard said though?
Like it was
relevant. I played it.
Oh, you played it?
Yeah, you missed it.
A particular part.
Oh, man.
With the arrows pointing with the little rat emoji.
I'm doing it over
the
here.
The arrows pointing to this particular part. So this is the particular part of the paperwork that they want us to focus on. I guess the rest of this paperwork is irrelevant, you heard? So for the sake of the beef, for the sake of the 50 Cent and JaRule beef, it's irrelevant. JaRule circled that part with the rat emoji and all of that. So let's read this part. The opponent states that he is informed by Giscard Bondo of an address known to the district attorney's office that informant observed each of the above described defendants acting in concert with each other and with other, it looks like unidentified individuals, repeatedly punch about the face and body of informant Curtis Jackson, Marvin.
Sticky fingers, please.
Off, as you can see. That comma denotes they are done talking about the informant. punches about the face and body of the informant, comma, Curtis Jackson, comma, Marvin, and then it cuts off. We don't know what it says. However, if this is the paperwork that they've been saying they had with 50 Cent name on it all of these years, these niggas be bugging. Who did they show this to? And from the streets that had the niggas in the streets like, yo, y'all got a valid paperwork with this nigga name in it. This not saying 50 Cent is a rat or a snitch or none of that. How you call somebody a rat, put the paperwork up, and the paperwork actually exonerates the man from being a rat? Since when they saying the informant and then they say the government name? The government name. They calling the nigga the informant throughout the paperwork, and then they just say his government name. Where they do that at? That's what's they call him informant. The opponent states that he is informed by Giscard Bondeau of an address known to the district attorney's office that informant observed each of the above defendants, each of the above described defendants, acting in concert with each other and with other unidentified individuals, repeatedly punch about the face and body of informant Curtis Jackson, Marvin. Y'all don't know how to read paperwork? Y'all can't comprehend what y'all read? See that? Like, yo. I know a lot of people. I don't know. I don't know. How could this? How could they mistake this as 50 Cent told in this paperwork right here? That don't sound like 50 Cent told, even if you being biased in a situation like 50's a rat. Then you read this out loud and it's like, hold on. That's not really saying 50's a rat. Even if you being biased, even if you on JaRule's side, how could you look at these papers and say that? So now this goes back to what I said. This goes back to what I said in a previous video in regards to the situation when JaRule was saying, oh, all of your shows is trash. You had one good album, the rest was trash. You were trash, right? When JaRule went on that tirade, right, said all of those things about 50 Cent, right? I said, is that how you really perceive it? Is that how you really perceive it to be, or is that how you want it to be? Like do you really wish he only had one good album? Because The Power of the Dollar was fire. Get Rich or Die Trying is a classic. The Massacre is a good album too. Curtis, I got a few good. If you want to say that after that, whatever. But that's three good albums we talking about. You know what I'm saying? We want to say he got all his shows is trash. Power is not trash. Raising Canaan is not, to me, is not trash. For Life, that was on ABC, is not trash. You understand what I'm saying? So that's 3 shows right there that's not trash. What other shows he got? You understand? BMF? Who think that's trash? Y'all think that's trash? It was a hit show. Now I'm saying the Tommy Show, I don't really like that. I'm saying, but it do good when it come on. Somebody else like it. You feel me? So I'm saying when he's saying these things, is that how he really perceive it, or is that how he want it to be? So now when we see this, you really thought 50 was a rat, or is that what you wanted? I want him to be a rat because he was wilding on these dudes at the time. You heard? Yeah. First of all, they started calling him a rat because of Ghetto Quran. Anybody that listens to Ghetto Quran and then you turn around and call 50 Cent a rat, you probably never did nothing in the streets. You definitely ain't from the Queens area, and I'm saying the New York City, Queens area. You definitely ain't from around there. If you listen to that song, everybody that was outside already knew everything that was in that song. That was public information. Most of them dudes had already been to jail, came home off of those cases, all types of like it was already public information, you heard? But they started calling him a rat off of that. So a lot of real gangsters, a lot of real hooligans, a lot of real thugs, because it's a difference between thugs and gangsters. That's a whole topic for another video. But the gangsters and the thugs, the hooligans, they hold up, man. Hold up, man. Y'all calling him a snitch because of some shit he said on a song that's not snitching? Know what I'm saying? That's not snitching. Like we heard Tupac saying such and such shot me, such and such had me shot. We heard him saying that on songs. And these dudes ain't call him a snitch, but y'all gonna call 50 a snitch for saying things that was public information. People who had already went to jail, came home off of all of that. Like, you understand? So we ain't understand, but that's irrelevant. Back to this paperwork. In this paperwork, it's saying that the informant told the police that he got beat up, and him, 50, and Marvin. I assume Marvin is Tony Yayo. I think that's his name. Marvin Bernard. I think that's his name, you heard? That's what the informant is telling the police. Him, Curtis Jackson, and Marvin got beat up by the described individuals and other unidentified individuals. You understand? Like, I don't know. I never in my life saw a nigga say, yo, you a rat, nigga. Look at the paperwork. Nigga put the paperwork up and it's saying actually that the nigga's not a rat. Let's get to that.
Why is Amazon paying me $63,000 a month? Well, I didn't make this kind of money selling yoga mats.
Yo, let's get to that, man. How's our boy 50 a rat, man?
So what? He's saying he's a rat?
That's what no, he's not saying that. JaRule trying to say it. Because
JaRule just hurt.
He butt hurt. He mad because Diddy locked up, but Irv Gotti get dead, so he don't got nobody playing his record no more. I know that, bro.
Crazy.
Nigga feels like he missed JaRule. You heard me? He missed JaRule, bro.
Did he?
You know what it is. He missed him. It was his boo-boos.
That's crazy that Gene Deal said that.
And Gene Deal, that's my bro. My bro don't lie.
And then you got
my bro, he don't lie. But yo, y'all, check this out, man. I had to do this show, man. Got 2 hours in. I'm gonna thank everybody that came on the panel. My boy Mac Mezzo, my bro Cross the Boss. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all. Thanks y'all for coming and showing love. This is King, New Jersey. This is BTBTV. Hold up.
I want to check the Terrence Howard thing, but you know it's all good.
Hold on. You want to check Terrence out? Hold on. No, we can do that. Matter of fact, we can do that. Hold on 1 second. Yo, which is my command, my brother. Hold on 1 second. Hold up. Terrence Howard, did he?
Yeah, right. You think he's gonna get enough roles now? Now that he did that, I think he already knew that.
Here we go, bro. Here we go.
What's the material you want to work on? I'm just looking at it. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, we
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no
hell
consequences
yeah. I
when you
mean,
said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at it. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. He's sitting there, just looking at it, like waiting. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh, now I get it. So now no more communication. Now you notice to be hands off with somebody. A number of producers come in and make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, threaten to knock their head off for talking to you like, or looking at you like you're a woman. You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will expect. So always be the man in the room.
Did you ever?
There you go. What you think about that, bro?
Big facts, big facts.
Terrence Howard,
Puppy was always saying that Terrence Howard was playing him in that show there. What's it called again?
Empire.
Yeah, Puppy used to always say, "Oh, he's playing. He's playing Mike. He's portraying my life and all that."
But he wasn't gay Empire. Puppy gay for life.
You know what I mean?
Terrence Howard was a gay Empire. So I don't know how he was portraying that.
That's what I'm saying. The son was gay, you know.
Yeah.
Lee Daniel made that show, you know. So
I know Lee Daniel, he's a flagrant homosexual. What? I'm lying.
That's a fact. So ever since Daniel Puppy was looking at him, looking, you know what I'm saying? Puppy's a dirt bag, man. Yeah, I remember that.
Puppy was looking at him like a snap. Come here, you red bone, light skin, man. Puppy like the red bone. Puppy like the red bone.
This nigga's case is coming up. You think he got a chance? I think Cassie's coming to testify on it.
Yep. Cassie testifying.
Yep. Do you see he got Young Thug's lawyer?
Oh, you do?
To defend him now? Yeah.
Oh shit. He think he coming home. He think he about to come home. You ain't Young Thug.
Brian Steelcat. He said, I ain't snitching on Young Thug. Put me in the same cell with him. That's what it is, man. Terrence Howard speaking right shit, you know? Don't give up your manhood. Nobody. No amount of money.
Facts. What's up?
Niggas is like that.
Let me end it, blah. Like I handle my business. But y'all, appreciate y'all for coming up, bro.
Word up, word up. We're going to do this again.
What's up with King, New Jersey? BTBTV and the Mac Mizzle Show in the building. Be prepared. We on it. And then before I end the show, let me say our anniversary is tomorrow. So let me say happy anniversary to my wife. If y'all want to donate to the anniversary celebration, my Cash App is in it. It's in the thing. Hit my Cash App up. It's in the description.
Yeah.
It's the anniversary. So you know what I'm saying? Let's get it popping, yo. We out of here. Peace.
Peace. Yeah.